Hello everybody and welcome to Sin City Living. My name is Jason. I'll be bringing you today's episode. As always, please hit those like and subscribe buttons. I want to give a couple quick little informational things. First, to all the fans that ask us about being able to tip the channel to show your appreciation and help us out. We still have the buy us a coffee function. Really appreciate all those coffees you guys have bought us. As you know, all three of us live off coffee. Just check the description of the video down below for a link to that if you are interested. But also, YouTube has now added a new function, a thanks button, right at the bottom of our videos. So if you appreciate what we're doing or appreciate the video we put out, please hit that thanks button, drop us a little bit. And if not, no worries. We appreciate all you guys watching. Second, we have our live streams coming up. They're going to be every single week on Tuesdays at either 1 or 2 o'clock, probably 2 o'clock. Some days I pick up the kid, I may do it at 1, but I'll let you guys know in advance. And once a month we will be doing a charity one. So this first one is going to be towards charity. After that will be our regular live streams. If they go well, we'll continue to keep them on YouTube. If not, we'll shift them over to our patrons. For most of them, we'll still do the occasional one on YouTube. And with that in mind also, please join us as one of our patrons. Just check again the description of the video down below for some links to that. And we have exclusive videos that we put up there all the time. Things we don't put on the regular channel, including the entire How to Deal Craps course. So with all that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into today's video. All right, everybody. So today we're going to go over the most common successful craps strategy. As we've talked about in a lot of our videos recently, the excuse me, all of these complex strategies people come up with, if this and that, hedge this, hedge that, do this on this side, this dark side, this light side, do this, pull this down, all that. They're not looking so much at winning. They're more looking at, oh, this way I minimize my losses, this way I take my money off the table and I'm playing with the quote-unquote casino money, which is a bunch of BS. It's not casino money. And they're not looking at the strategy and going, what does it take for the strategy to win? And that's actually pretty important. Now, we've already talked about the power press multiple times, and we'll talk about it again in the future, I'm sure, as the power press is the strategy that has the potential to make the absolute most amount of money. However, because of that potential, it also has the likelihood of losing the most amount of money very, very quickly. So the most common strategy that we see amongst successful craps players that will catch a 15 to 20 minute roll, color up with their winnings and leave and actually win, the most common strategy is, of course, the mid press. And it kind of rides a fine line in between power press and like press one eater or something like that. Now, most mid press players will switch to a power press at a certain point, or they will actually come off the mid press entirely and just same bet a couple of times once they hit a certain point, which is basically their win condition. When you see players that mid press, mid press, mid press, mid press, and then stop pressing, or even power press, power press, power press, and then start saying same bet, it's not that they suddenly got scared. Some of them, of course, but most of them is because they understand their strategy and they know where their win condition is. And they know that by taking the same bet, that once this roll finally ends, they are winners and will be able to leave the table. So the way I'm going to do this is we're going to do this in basically 3 stages. We're going to do this on a $10 minimum bet table, a $15 minimum bet table, and a $25 minimum bet table. And what I want to do is I want to analyze where the win conditions are. How it can win and where the win conditions are. So we're going to start off with 64 across. Now I took the puck off because it doesn't really matter. Now obviously these are only going to pay while the puck is on. Very few people are ballsy enough to work while the point is off. So when we talk about how many times a number needs to hit, we're talking about how many times a number needs to hit while it's live. While it's live. So we're going to look at each one of these numbers as if, or not each, but we're going to look at these numbers as if they were to hit 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, and 8 times. We're going to do them one at a time. So we're actually going to go outward to inward because these are the most likely ones to hit the most. So we're going to say 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, and 8 times. We're going to look at how much they can make. So let's look at the 4. So the 4 on a mid press, we'll say it's not a buy yet, so it's only going to pay $18. Okay, so likely going to press it 1, press it 1 unit, the first hit. So the second hit, still not quite a buy. So they throw in $3, get their 27. So now they're most likely going to be a buy. So the third hit, throw in $5. And they will collect the rest. So 3 hits on a 10, and they have banked $54 into their rack. $54 up into their rack in profit. That's not a win condition, most likely for most players. So hitting 4 times or 3 times on the 4 or 10 isn't really going to do it for you. So let's look at what happens if you hit it 4 times. So let's go ahead and restart ourselves over here. So we already know that after 3 hits, this will have $54 banked, and we'll be at a $50 10. Now, I'm going to play this a little bit more conservative than some mid-press players will. Some mid-press players will start going towards a straight press on the 4 and 10. So from 50, they will go up to 100. However, others are only going to go up to 75. So we're going to do it that way, okay? So this is going to be a $2 vig. It's going to pay 100 for 2, and they press it up to 75. So 4 hits on the 10, $127 in your rack. Probably still not a win condition, but we're getting there. So let's look at the 5. So the 5, we'll do the 5 as 5 hits. Okay? So the first hit, they're going to press it 1 unit. The second hit, they're going to collect 11. So the third hit, go to 36. The fourth hit, go to 50. And the fifth hit, go to 75. So after 5 hits, on a 5, player will have banked $125. It's probably still not quite a win condition, but it's, again, not too shabby. Not too shabby. So now let's look at 6 hits. So we know after 5 hits, we're sitting on $75 here on this 9, and we have banked $125. So on the next hit, likely going to go to 1 1/4. Okay. So now we are sitting on $125, and we have banked $180. We're still not quite at a win condition. So after 6 hits on the 9, still not quite at a win condition. So now let's look at the 6. 7 hits on the 6. So the first hit, press 1 unit. Second hit, we'll go on to 30. Third hit, go on to 42. Fourth hit, go on to 60. Fifth hit, go on to 90. Sixth hit. And this one's kind of iffy. Likely going to go to 150 after 6 hits. And hit number 7. Now, a couple different ways they can do this. We're going to say they do it on a conservative route, and they go up to 210. So, 7 hits. Seven hits on a 6, and we're looking at $271 banked just off of the 6. Now, for most players, again, probably not a win condition. However, this is a spot where a lot of mid-pressers will start saying same bet. Because now they're going to collect $245. So you throw in $5. If they collect $250 every single time, they've already banked $270. They catch it one more time, and they have banked $500. For a lot of players, $500 in profit is a win condition. Absolutely a win condition, especially if they've caught a few other things. You know, catching all of this stuff, unlikely, and I'll explain why when I finish. So that was 7 hits. So after 7 hits, we're at 210. $271 in profit. So on the 8th hit, if they were to mid-press it again, on the 8th hit, what we are likely to see, we are likely to see a press up to 300. So after 8 hits, $426. That's assuming mid-pressing every single time. $426. We are definitely approaching win condition territory, especially if they've caught a few things here and there. Now, as you guys have noticed, when it's a lower amount of hits, you're not winning as much. You definitely need to be pressing up in order to get to where your payouts are starting to hit a win condition. So I said, what about catching all of this? Well, if you somehow manage to catch all of this, we're looking at what? 4, 6, 8, 9, 1,000, 1,150, 1,100, about $1,180 something dollars. $1,180 something dollars. That would be a win condition for most players. However, again, unlikely to happen. Why? Well, let's total it up. 3 and 4 is 7, plus 5 is 12, plus 6 is 18, plus 7 is 25, plus 8 is 33. 33 rolls of the dice. We're talking a 45-minute hand. 45-minute hand. Unlikely. Unlikely. I'd say that's a once-a-night thing, but actually we did not have a single 40-minute hand tonight. Not a one. Not a single one. We did have some 18 to 20-minute hands, and we did definitely have probably at least a dozen times hands where any individual one number rolled between 6 to 9 times during that hand. At least a dozen times. Now, we did have 5 tables going, but at least a dozen times we had any one individual number roll between 5 to 9 times. If I limited it to 5, actually, I might even say that we probably had more than a dozen. It's hard to say because obviously I'm only sitting on one table at a time out of the 5. But yeah, that's why people play, because they're looking for those 5 to 8, 9 hits. Especially if they're a mid-press player. If they're a power press player, they really don't need quite so many hits. But for a mid-press player, they definitely need 7, 8 hits on a number. Now, if you go outside, if you get a 4 that rolls, say, 6 times, if you're a mid-press player, you probably hit your win condition. Most of them would. So there we go. That's a $10 minimum bet table. We're going to analyze this next on a $15 minimum bet table. All right, so now we're going to take a look at the most popular successful crap strategy, not the most successful, most popular successful crap strategy that is played, and that is the mid-press. And now we're going to look at it on a $15 minimum bet table. So let's take a look. And as always, please hit those like and subscribe buttons. And if you guys appreciate our content, really enjoy it, please hit that thanks button down below. They just recently added that. So we're going to look at this. Now, this is 96 across including. The puck has been removed. Now, obviously, when we talk about how many times a number needs to hit, we mean while it's live, not while the puck is off. That doesn't count. So this time, we're going to look at it on a $15 minimum bet table. And again, looking at how many hits on a number does it take to get to your win condition. We're going to do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay? So let's look at 3. 3 hits over here. This one is probably going to go to a quarter. The first hit. Hit number 2. Go to 50. And hit number 3, we'll do just like we did before, where we play it slightly conservative and just go to 75. Okay? So 3 hits, the player has banked $114. Probably not a win condition. So let's take a look over here. So now we need one more hit to see what happens after 4 hits. So throw that in. Likely press it up. So 4 hits, and we are looking at $235 in profit banked up. For most players, probably still not a win condition, but this is definitely getting there. For a lot of players, this is on a $10 table. A lot of players, this is a point where they might same bet maybe twice, because they know how unlikely it is for it to hit the 5th, the 6th, the 7th time. So to continue pressing, some players won't, because now they're collecting $200 every single hit. That's enough to come close to people's win conditions on a $10 minimum bet table. $15 minimum bet table, you're starting to look at buy-ins of generally between $300 to $600, if not $1,000 to $1,500. So generally takes a little bit more for that win condition. So let's look over here at 5 hits. So the first hit, we're already going up to a quarter. The second hit, going up to 36. Third hit, go to 50. Fourth hit, go to 75. And fifth hit, go to 1 1/4. Now after 5 hits on the 5, starting at $15, we are sitting on $171 in profit up in the rail. Again, probably not a win condition, probably not. But we're getting there. We're definitely getting there. So we know that after 5 hits, we are sitting on $171. So what about that next hit? This one, we'll do it conservative and say they only go up to $150. So at this point now, we're sitting on $321 in profit. Again, still not a win condition, but definitely getting there. And this is also a spot where even someone on a $15 minimum bet table might start saying same bet. Because this right here, $150 9 or 5, is going to pay you $210 every single time it hits. Some people are very happy getting paid $200 every time their number hits. Other people, not so much, i.e. power pressers, and a lot of mid-pressers. Now, when I talk about how players will stop and start taking some profit, there is some caveats to that. They will stop and start taking some profit, but generally, even a mid-presser that has hit that win condition or close up to it, they may only same bet a number twice. Because at a certain point, they're like, man, I'm missing out. The first time, they're like, cool, I made a couple $100. The second time, they're like, sweet, I made another couple $100. But they're starting to think, God, what if I'd have pressed it last time? Definitely, if they same bet it twice in a row, the third time it hits, they're going to do some sort of press at that point, because they will collect it $500-600 or more, and they're going, man, God, if only I'd have pressed it, what if it hits another time? So then they're going to start pressing it. That's also why mid-pressers, once they have hit that win condition, they start power pressing, because now they've made enough, they're going to be happy, so now they're going to freaking go for it. All right, so let's look at the 6 hitting 7 times. So first time it goes up to 30. Second time, 42. Third time goes up to 60. What did I say? Third time? Well, to 30, 42, 60. Okay. So now they're going to go up to 90. It's the 4th time. 5th time, 150. 6th time, couple different ways they can go, but we're going to say 210. It's hit number 6. Now hit number 7. So after 7 hits on a 6, starting at $15 minimum bet table, this player has $418 in profit in their rack. It's really going to be up to the player whether or not this is a win condition. If they bought in for $300, this is probably a win condition, because they would have made a little bit on other stuff too. So you figure they made $500 of profit, maybe a little more if the 7 were to come right away. So for someone who bought in for, say, $300, this is definitely a win condition. 7 outcomes, they look at the rail, and they've got they bought in for $300, they have between $600 to $8 and change, $900. They're probably coloring up and going. They minimum doubled up, they might have even tripled up. For someone who bought in for $500, it's kind of iffy. If they caught a few other things and they weren't too deep into the bankroll from losses already, they might have doubled up. If they have $1,000 in their bankroll, they might call it a day. If they have $700 or $800 in their bankroll, they're probably not going to call it a day. So now let's look at what happens with that 8th hit. So we know after 7 hits, they've made a profit of $418. So when that 8th hit comes, probably going to just go to $450. Now they're sitting on a profit of $618. $618. We're definitely starting to look at win condition range now. I mean, for sure, we're looking at some win conditions here. So, yeah, there you go. This is an idea of just with the mid press how How many times you need to hit in order to get to your win condition. This is why so many strategies lose, so many players lose, because they don't realize that they need to catch an absolutely ridiculous roll in order to actually make money and hit a point where they're willing to walk away. Most players they just keep in a slow death spiral and just slowly keep spiraling down the drain. They catch a 20, 30-minute roll and they're up $50, $100, $200, and they're like, oh, and they just keep on playing, assuming they're going to hit it again. And that's where you see a lot of players that go, well, if I was betting $10 minimum bets and I made $200, I'll just make it $20 bets and now I should make $400. No, you're just going to lose your $200 that much faster. So that's $15 minimum bet table. We're going to take a look at the mid press starting at $25 on a minimum bet. All right, so let's take a look at the mid press starting out on a $25 minimum bet table. So they'll start with their usual 160 across. And again, with these hits, they only apply while the point is live, while the number is live. So any hits that would have occurred while the point is off are not counted in these totals. As always, please hit the like and subscribe buttons, everybody. And if you enjoy our content and really appreciate what we're doing, please hit that thanks button down below as well. And, okay, let's take a look. So we're going to do the same thing as before. We're going to look at 3 hits, 4 hits, 5 hits, 6 hits, 7 hits, and 8 hits, just to give an idea. Now, we're doing that outwards in because these are obviously the most likely ones to hit, and the first ones that are most likely to reach that win condition point. The 4 and 10, all you really have to do is add a couple of hits to it. You're at your win condition. I guarantee you. 5 or 6 hits on a 4 or a 10, and if you are not pulling $500 per hit or more, you done screwed up. So here we go. 3 hits on the 4. Going to collect $24. Second hit. Third hit. So after 3 hits, this player has banked $218 in profit. And that sounds really good, but you're on a $25 minimum bet table. I'm willing to bet that the absolute bare minimum this player bought in with is $1,000. I do see players that buy in, let's say, $500 on a $25 minimum bet table, but they're not likely going 160 across. More likely going 6 and 830 each. Okay. And that's the thing with the mid presses. You don't have to play every number. You can just play a few numbers. So let's look at the 10. So we know after 3 hits, we're at $218 of profit. So what about that 4th hit? Well, that 4th hit, you're now at $318 in profit. Could be at 368. Maybe you only went up to 150 instead of 200. Entirely up to you. Still probably not a win condition. So let's look at 4 hits on the 5. Hit number 1. Player probably would have thrown in $1, so let's just do it this way. Hit number 1. Hit number 2. Hit number 3. And hit number 4. And this player is sitting on $165 in profit in their rail. Definitely not a win condition. Not for somebody that's bought in at a level like this. So what about the 5th hit? So the 5th hit, go to 200 or 150. Let's say they just go to 150. Now they're sitting on $340 in profit in their rail. Again, probably not a win condition. And the thing is, on a $25 minimum bet table, this right here is probably not a stopping point like it would be for some players, some mid-press players on a $10 or $15 minimum bet table, where they're happy collecting $200 every hit, where they'll start saying same bet, same bet, same bet. Right here, unlikely on a quarter minimum bet. Even this bet right here, $200, unlikely to be a stopping point for most players. What they may do is their next bet, they may only press it up to $250, collect a larger amount, collect $350 remaining, and from that point forward, they're collecting $500 every hit, minus the big, of course. $500 every hit, that might make them happy enough to start same betting. But 200, 210, probably not. Okay, let's look at 7 hits on the 6. Let me make sure I did that right though. 25, 36, 50, 75, 125, 4 hits. Oh, no. We're supposed to do 5 hits. So after 5 hits, you'd be right here with a profit of $340, which means that I'll go ahead and do the 6 hits over here. Okay, guys? Because I messed that up. I'm glad I went and double-checked myself right there. Okay, so now we're going to add one more hit to it. So we add one more hit to it. They collect 210. Here is where they have all kinds of choices. All kinds of choices to make. As a mid-presser, most would go to 250, but we're just going to say they're going to 200, okay? They're going to 200. So now they have banked $600. Still not quite there at a win condition for someone who bought in for between $1,000 to $2,000. Probably not a win condition. Let's look at 7 hits on the 6. So first hit, 6. Collect 23 and 42. First hit. Second hit. Third hit. Fourth hit. Fifth hit. Hit number 6. I know I shouldn't be paying in this area, but what the heck. And hit number 7. So 7 hits of the 6. And this player has pulled $609 in profit. $609 in their rack. Is this a win condition for this player? Possibly not. Probably not. Very unlikely that it is. However, this could very well be a stopping point. A $450 6 is going to pay $525 every single time it hits. Some players are very happy making $500 every time their bet hits. Other players, at this point, because they've banked $600, they might start getting more aggressive, and should it hit again, they might actually jump all the way up to 900. They might do a full press, jump all the way up to 900. The reason for that is that will be their stopping point. They will collect $1,000 every single hit, $1,050. So some players may do that. But that wouldn't really be in the spirit of the mid-press, even though, like I said, most mid-pressers stop mid-pressing at a certain point and start going gung-ho. But here we go. After 7 hits, we're sitting on a $450 8. So like I said, it pays 5 1/4. So hit number 8. Just press it up to the standard 600. You now have a proper bet. You have banked $984 in profit. Now, depending on where this player was, how deep into their bankroll they were when this roll started, this player very, very, very well could be in the profit. They could be at their profitability zone to where if a 7 out comes, they're going to color up and leave. They may have hit their win condition. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope you guys find this interesting, illuminating, enlightening, or at least just plain fun. Catch you guys next time. Bye now. Thank you everybody for watching today's video. And as promised, a little bit more detail on things that we are working on. So again, we want to continue trying to expand the channel. We're really hoping to be able to add roulette as soon as possible, and then some video keno, video slots, stuff along those lines. Unfortunately, it ate up almost all of our cash, paying off all of our bills during the month of January while we were down. And now that the holidays have ended, YouTube's payouts have dropped significantly. So we're kind of treading water here as far as all that goes. Do have a lot of things we want to add, though. Not just those things, those additional games, and hopefully some carnival games and such like that, but the live streams. The biggest problem right now with the live streams is with 3 jobs combined between the 2 of us, 4 if I include the 20 to 30 hours a week I'm putting into the YouTube channel.
it's very, very difficult for me to have a day and time that I can commit to doing the live stream every single week, because we also have our very young child to take care of. But I'm trying to figure that out. I'm thinking it's probably going to end up being on Monday nights or Tuesday afternoons, or possibly both. I intend to do at least one live stream exclusively for our patrons, and then another one on the YouTube channel. So possibly both days. We also have a few other things that we really want to attempt to move forward on. I'm just running into either time or skill set issues. I do want to eventually have a website going for us. I did used to program websites over a decade ago. A lot of things have changed, and I just don't have that time. And not a whole lot of knowledge on the current state of building websites, hosting what sites can host, and how to build up the e-commerce stuff. So if anybody has any skill sets along those lines and would like to answer some questions or just help us out, shoot us an email, sincitylivinglv@gmail.com. Also, I really hope to be able to start adding some exclusive stuff from Sin City Living, logoed shirts, hats. I'm looking to get custom dice made, even custom layouts made, although those would be pretty expensive. But I know zero about e-commerce and drop shipping and anything along those lines. So if you have any skill or knowledge in that area, please email me. I would love to ask you some questions and see if you can answer a few to help me figure out how to get that going. Same thing with designing our logos. I had some logos designed, very, very small logos, unfortunately, not big enough to blow up to put on T-shirts and stuff like that. And again, I know I know nothing about logo design, graphic design, any kind of websites that could do it. I literally know nothing. So if you have any skill or knowledge in that area also, please email me, and you're willing to answer some questions, please email me and let me know. I'll admit I don't even know where to start as far as asking some questions, but I'm sure I'll ask a few, and that'll trigger a few more, so on and so forth. So yeah, there's that, and of course we do hope to continue to improve our AV setup, but I am an AV moron, so also right there, if you have any skill sets or knowledge in that area, please email me, and are willing to answer some questions. Please email me and let me know. We would love to help. Otherwise, again, thank you everybody for watching, and we're very excited to continue bringing you our videos. Bye now.